Hello and welcome back to the 15th episode of the Unplanned Journey podcast, where we unravel the extraordinary stories of those who have navigated unexpected paths to success. In today's episode, we have a remarkable guest, a career coach dedicated to empowering women in the dynamic world of tech. Her journey is a testament to resilience, transformation, and the unwavering pursuit of gender equality in the tech landscape. So get ready to be inspired as we delve into the unplanned twists and turns that have shaped her path and discover how she's helping other women script their own success stories in the ever evolving industry. So, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the amazing Jennifer, a former recruiter and hiring manager with an impressive tenure at tech giants like LinkedIn and thriving scales up, including Contentful and Hypop. So she has transitioned into a passionate career coach dedicated to empowering women in the tech industry for years. Jennifer have been coaching women in the parallel of her full-time job, but her commitment to helping women accelerate their careers led her to make the bold decision to coach women full-time. So very warm welcome to the show, Jennifer. And I'm sure, there is a lot to who you are on the day-to-day life. So do you want to add some limelight to it?
Yes, of course. And wow, what an introduction. Thank you so much for that. And I'm so grateful to be here on this podcast with you. So thank you for that. Maybe to add to that, I am 33 years old. I live in Amsterdam with my partner. And what I like to do in my day-to-day life, like outside of work, is I'm a big gym goer. I love working out. Like it helps me, not just physical health, but also like keep me grounded. And I love hiking in nature as well. We'll get back to that in a bit, but I lived in Ireland for a couple of years. So I loved exploring nature and hiking in the mountains there. And right now here in Amsterdam, I love to just explore, whether it's the nightlife, whether it's a festival, or just exploring and finding amazing restaurants with friends.
Amazing. Like offline, off record, me and Jennifer were having a chat a couple of weeks back. And when she said that she's in Amsterdam, I was like, okay, I know who to talk to when I want to go to Amsterdam. She could give me good guidance. So definitely, I think we're going to share some good tips about, being in Amsterdam, Netherlands, and where to go and where not to go. But thank you again. Thank you again for giving your time today on this podcast. So without any further ado, let me get back to our first question of the podcast around the unplanned journey. So let's start by you sharing some of your significant unplanned event or detour in your life that led you down to a completely unexpected path.
Yeah, I would have to say that that's my career switch from recruitment into tech. I worked as a recruiter for about 6 years, and although I loved the job, helping others thrive in their career, planning their next steps and supporting them along the way, after about 6 years, I was like, okay, I felt like something was missing. So after quite some self-reflection and many conversations with my friends, with my family, I have to say I'm an open book, honestly. So I discuss everything with the people around me. And then a former colleague and friend actually asked me whether I wanted to potentially come and work for LinkedIn and move to Dublin in Ireland. And between saying yes, actually going through the interview process, getting the offer, and then quitting my job as a recruiter, that only took me 1 month in total.
Wow.
Taking or saying yes, after saying yes, I actually realized what I had said yes to, and that I actually had to move to a different country. And I had never been to Ireland before. Like the only thing I knew about Ireland was that Dublin was the capital.
Yeah. Well, it's a really different experience, to what usually people have. And moving countries is not easy. It's again very challenging. And we all understand this because, like, most of the people have moved from their home country out of their luxury life and, come outside to achieve their job. So kudos to you and well done. So tell me, how did you initially react to this unplanned turnout of yours and what were your emotions at that time?
Yeah. So I mean, I am a big planner. So normally I always prepare for what's to come because it makes me feel at ease. It makes me feel safe. I know exactly what to expect. So this was, I think, the first time in my life where I sort of went off track. And rather than planning something, I was just like, you know what? It feels good. So let me just go for it, you know?
Yeah.
And there's obviously a lot of feelings involved, right? I had excitement, I was scared, I asked myself lots of questions. Am I ready for this? Why did they hire me? What if I don't like Dublin? What if I don't do well in the job?
Yeah.
So obviously the planner in me, I did plan a little bit of the journey, and I just agreed with myself that should I not like Dublin or anything that I experienced there, like if it's not for me, then I can always move back home after 6 months.
Right. Yeah.
Although it was unexpected, there was a little bit of planning where I had to agree that with myself.
Well, I think somewhere in the back of the mind, even the unplanned journey has a little bit plan to it, right? I mean, I'm a big believer of whatever happens, happens for some reason and it's for good. Definitely, there are some ups and downs in life that you go through, but I think you just accept it because this is something that's not going to come back.
Yeah.
And you get your life once, so why not live it to the fullest, taking a little bit risk, right? So, talking about risk, what were some of the challenges or obstacles that you faced along this unplanned journey, and how did you navigate through them?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, where to begin, right? I think moving to a different country and all the challenges that brings from, canceling the lease of my apartment here in the Netherlands. I was actually living with my sister at the time,
Oh, okay.
which was an amazing time, but it meant I had to cancel the lease with her, sell my furniture, move some stuff back to my parents. And then after the big move, it was about, finding an apartment in Dublin, exploring the city, making new friends, and all in all, it really felt like every single day just threw another challenge at me.
Mm.
So there were loads.
Yeah, yeah, no, I know. I mean, like moving again is not easy, and it does come with a lot of stuff. You have to leave a lot of things behind, and prepare for what is coming next. It's completely new
Yeah.
world, new people, new friends and everything. So I can totally relate to that. Absolutely. Um, So I think all this, like, as I said before, it does happen for something good, right? So did you discover any hidden opportunities or any unexpected benefits during this unexpected path of yours? And if you want to share some example of it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think the main thing was that I just didn't realize that everything that the tech industry had to offer until I actually took the plunge and started working in the tech industry, right?
Yeah.
So working at LinkedIn was a huge accelerator for my career, something that I had heard of, but I obviously only found out as I was working for LinkedIn what that actually meant for me. So
Right.
from the structure that the organization had to offer, like all the processes, the trainings that they provided, to also the freedom that I got to create a completely new project group with people from all over the world, based on something that I saw could potentially change or help the
Yeah.
business. So I think that was a very big thing for me. But then also working in a job that I ended up absolutely loving. So, that 6 month period of me thinking I might move back home, that definitely didn't happen.
Yeah.
So, it resulted in me getting multiple opportunities to also move up the career ladder in
Right.
LinkedIn.
Right.
But then also, besides the work piece, it also made sure that I actually found lots of new friends. So many of the best and good friends I have today, I actually met while I lived in Dublin.
Wow. Yeah. Well, yeah, talking about friends, like I think nothing is impossible without having a support. Like I really feel that if you want to go far, you need somebody with you, to support you. It could be anybody. So talking about support, did you find, I know you mentioned friend, but did you find any support or guidance from anybody else during this whole journey? And if you want to name an individual, feel free to do that, who played a big role in this change of yours.
Oh, 100%. I mean, the first thing I realized when I arrived in Dublin, and you touched upon it just now, was that, it's an expat city.
Yeah.
They call Dublin the Silicon Valley of Europe for a reason. And practically everyone I met early on in my journey in Dublin had left their home country or their hometown at some point. So I felt like everybody was in the same boat,
Yeah,
and everybody missed their family, everybody missed their friends. And I think the fact that we were all in the same boat actually brought us very close together.
absolutely.
And it made sure that we had a very good support group. Like I literally felt like they were my family throughout the 3 years that I lived in Dublin. And I mean, I don't know where to start in terms of names, but I obviously want to mention a few people who really shaped my journey back in Ireland. There were so many people, though. But I would say Morgan is definitely one of the people that I would love to mention. So she's definitely my best friend right now. And we actually started on the same day at LinkedIn. So
Wow.
she worked in a different business line, different role, but we were sort of in the same new hire group. And yeah, now I think we're like 4 or 5 years later, and she actually moved to Amsterdam as well. So
Wow.
our journey continued from Dublin back to Amsterdam, and no, she's a very close friend of mine. And then another good friend of mine, Denise, she was actually my onboarding buddy on my team at LinkedIn as well. Which again, you know, brought us very close from the start. And she had already been living in Dublin for a while, so she actually was able to offer me a lot of support and guidance in the role, but then also getting to know the city,
Yeah.
nice restaurant, the nice places.
Yeah.
And then another good friend of mine, Erica, I met her in Dublin as well. And she also moved to Amsterdam later on. And she
Oh.
played a really big part in shaping my journey of becoming an entrepreneur and starting my own business. And then the last person I definitely need to call out is my current my partner. So I met him while living in Dublin and working for LinkedIn. And yeah, he moved back to Amsterdam with me when we moved 2 years ago.
Wow, you really have a good group of friends. Like, I hope my best friend is listening to this one. She really needs to
Yeah.
hear this out. That
Yeah.
what best friends are supposed to do, right? They need to move with you, when you are there. So I've been asking my best friend to come here. She's back in India, so I've been asking her to come here. We'll do something together. I think she's just lazy. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna ask her to look at this episode. So get inspired from you and your friends.
Sure.
Well done to your friends, all the phone names that you called out, and congratulations for having, such good friends in your life. And thank you to all those four people for being such an amazing support to you.
Yeah,
So
and I mean, maybe to add to that, I think none of those people, when we were still living in Dublin, actually planned to move to Amsterdam. So again, part of my unexpected journey were, other people who also had their own unexpected journey.
right,
I think
yeah.
if I asked my partner 5 years ago that he was going to be living in Amsterdam today, he probably would have laughed you in the face, at you in your face, because he wouldn't have believed it. And same for my good friends. They also didn't expect to now live in Amsterdam, but here we are.
Here we are. Yeah, things. Well, again, coming back to the same thing, sometimes things happen for a reason and for good. So well done to all of you and good luck with everything. This brings to my next question around lessons. So, what were some of the key lessons that you learned from this unexpected journey of yours, and how they have influenced your approach towards life and decision making?
I think the biggest thing is to always talk openly about dreams, but also doubts with friends, family, colleagues. Because had I not shared that I was not feeling it in my career at the time, or the fact that I had always wanted to move abroad, because that was a long dream of mine. But again, it wasn't planned at that moment. So had I not talked about all those things with the people around me, I simply would have not gotten the question of,
Yeah,
hey, would you like to go and work for LinkedIn or apply for LinkedIn and eventually maybe move to Dublin? So I
right.
think,
Yeah.
speaking up about your dreams, desires, doubts, um, really helps. And
Yeah.
I think the second thing is that change can definitely be scary. But I ultimately grew the most when I was outside my comfort zone. in, again, an unexpected situation, a place that I didn't know, in a completely new environment. So that also really
Yeah.
helped shape me.
Yeah, well, I've heard this many times. People say that once you start getting comfortable somewhere, it's time to move on. You
Exactly.
know?
Exactly. Yeah. And I think, again, those conversations really helped me to push me in the right direction. And
Yeah,
maybe a final point to that, also don't be afraid to ask for help, because
absolutely.
you might not know what job is next for you, or you might not know exactly what the goals are in your career. But reaching out to others and asking for help to
Yeah.
guide you on that, in that process or on that journey, is crucial.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I agree. That asking for help shouldn't be something that needs to be thought on. This is something needs to go with the flow, because if you don't ask, people won't know that you need help, right? And you'll
Exactly.
be stuck.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you. And this is really amazing advice that you've given. But I did had a last question on the advice piece. So I'm still gonna ask you, for those listeners who may currently find themselves, in an unplanned journey, an actual unplanned journey, they are planning to move to some other country for a job, anything that is unexpected. Do you have any tips and tricks for them that how they can embrace this unknown and make the most out of the situation?
Yeah. So, I would say that when you feel like you're in an unknown situation, or things are not going completely as planned, it usually means that you're in a place moving towards growth. And that uneasy feeling comes simply from the fact that you are growing, that you're moving towards bigger things in your life. And I would just say to embrace that feeling,
Right.
because once you start feeling comfortable, that soon will turn into too comfortable, and then you just simply
Yeah.
won't have the challenges in your life anymore. So
Yeah.
easy feeling will literally move into growth, for you.
Yeah. No, 100%. I was having a chat with my mom this morning, and it was around something which I can't mention it here. But then she was like, "Why do you want to make this decision?" I was like, "I think I've got too comfortable now, so I
Yeah,
want to change because
yeah,
I don't want to be, I want to." Be on the growing step and not somebody where I am too comfortable having my, blanket and all and watching Netflix, and that's too comfortable for me. So I want to do something else. So I can
exactly.
totally relate, and that's what I've been telling people as well always. And somebody was here, QT. She was one of the podcast guests of mine. She did say a really amazing statement. You need to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna repeat that. So that was really amazing one that actually got stuck. But thank you so much. That was really an enlightening episode for us, and thanks again for sharing the insights. So as we bring this enlightening episode to a close, we've had the privilege of unraveling the extraordinary journey of a career coach who champions women in the tech arena. So Jennifer's story is a testament to the resilience, empowerment, and the unyielding pursuit of gender equality within the tech landscape. So we've explored the twists and turns that have shaped her path and witnessed how she's become a guiding light for countless women seeking success in this dynamic industry. So let this episode be a source of inspiration, reminding us that unplanned journeys can lead to extraordinary destination where passion and purpose converge. Thank you for joining us on this Unplanned Journey podcast, and stay tuned for more captivating episodes and stories and empowering conversation. Until next time, keep scripting your own remarkable success stories. So if you enjoyed today's episode and want to stay connected with us, we invite you to hit that subscribe button or follow our podcast channel. We value your support and appreciate you being part of our podcast community. Together, we can continue to explore fascinating topics, share empowering stories, number of challenges we face, and ignite a spark of inspiration in each other's life. Thank you again for tuning in, and we look forward to having you with us on the next episode of The Unplanned Journey. By the way, this was the last episode of this season one. So we will be seeing you again next year, bringing amazing stories of amazing personalities, amazing people from all over the world. So stay tuned with us and enjoy this last episode of this season one, and we'll see you again next year. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for being a part of this.
Thank you so much for inviting me.